Liverpool, a city of incredible history, well-beaten architecture and secret underground worlds. Today we're diving deep beneath the city streets to uncover the fascinating, often forgotten history of one of its most vital transport hubs, James Street Station. More than just a stop on the Merseyrail Wirral line, James Street holds a truly historic claim. It was the original Liverpool terminus of the pioneering Mersey Railway tunnel, the vital link that first connected Liverpool and Birkenhead under the River Mersey. But did you know that it was a terminal station twice in its history, and the area once had two James Street stations, or that the very first trains used to fill the tunnel with smoke and steam? Today we're exploring deep-level history, lost infrastructure, and the genius of Victorian engineering. Our story begins in the Victorian era. Liverpool and Birkenhead, though neighbours, were separated by the mighty Mersey, relying on ferries. The solution? An underground railway tunnel. On the 1st of February 1886, Liverpool James Street Station opened as the original terminus of the Mersey Railway. This was a massive engineering feat. James Street, along with Hamilton Square and Birkenhead, became the oldest deep-level underground stations in the world. Construction began in 1880 with the sinking of shafts at Man Island and Shore Road, but the planning dates back as far as 1866. The original concept was for a pneumatic railway, with small individual carriages blown using pneumatic pressure through two small tunnels, effectively large pipes, from one side of the river to the other. The limitations of this method were soon realised, and the plans were changed to a conventional local-hauled railway. The line would have a few issues. One was the gradients. Due to a glacial channel, the gradient down to mid-river had to be steeper than envisioned. This would require the locos to be very powerful. The downside to this being more smoke and steam in the tunnels. Tunnelling under the river and close to its banks would mean water ingress, water that had to be pumped away to avoid flooding. The new line and station at James Street was officially opened on the 20th of January 1886, and public services commenced on the 1st of February. Access to James Street was revolutionary. Passengers didn't take stairs or escalators. They used three massive, state-of-the-art hydraulically operated lifts to descend to the platforms. This is the large tower, housing the water tank for this hydraulic system. As seen in this diagram, the hydraulic rams lifted and lowered these lifts. The diagram also shows stairs were included, but most opted for the lifts. Included was also a subway entrance. We will look at that later. Smoke was dealt with, albeit ineffectively, by large fans and ventilation shafts linked to the stations and tunnels. Signalling was by the conventional block system with underground signal boxes. James Street Box was at the end of the Liverpool-bound platform. The railway was a success at first, but there was a major problem: the air quality. Operating the line with powerful steam locomotives meant the deep tunnels were choked with smoke, despite huge ventilation systems. Passengers were soon to turn back to the albeit slower but cleaner ferries. The only solution was a complete switch of motor power. In 1903 the line was electrified, instantly making the journey cleaner, faster and much more comfortable. This electrification, carried out by the Westinghouse Company, was to prove a success, and turn the struggling company's fortunes around. James Street's 1886 status as the terminal was brief. In 1892 the line was extended inland to connect with Liverpool Central Station, turning James Street into a vital through station. As electrification turned the company's fortunes around, thoughts were given to extensions. One early, ambitious 1914 plan was to extend the railway in a loop around Liverpool. The outbreak of the First World War was to scupper this, but the idea wasn't to be forgotten. The First World War would also eventually lead to some alleged unusual things being reported at the station. We will look at that later. The line connected to the Wirral Railway in 1888, which became part of the LMS in 1924. Through services to popular destinations like West Kirby and New Brighton came along after the LMS electrified the former Wirral Railway lines in 1938. But sadly the station faced destruction. During the Liverpool Blitz in 1941, Luftwaffe bombing destroyed the surface building, badly damaging the iconic hydraulic tower, which was later demolished. A new, more modest surface building rose in the aftermath, with a bland office block coming later. Though this cannot be compared to how it might have looked today if it had survived the war and the blinkered 1960s town planners. The biggest transformation came with the creation of the Merseyrail network in the 1970s, which finally saw construction of the long-proposed underground loop line under the city centre. To facilitate this, James Street once again became a terminal station. From 1975 until the loop opening in 1977, trains would terminate here. To aid passenger flow, colour markings were added to the Wirral-bound platform. On the opening of the loop, the old Merseyrail signal box was taken out of use. This rerouting meant James Street now has 3 platforms. These construction plans and photos showing the extensive work required. Wirral-bound trains using the original Wirral-bound platform. While the inner loop line using a brand new platform before it circles the city and heads back under the Mersey. The original Liverpool Central bound platform wasn't totally abandoned. It still sees occasional use if trains are unable to use the Liverpool loop. As part of the underground extensions, James Street gained a new signal box, though you wouldn't recognise it as one. Built above the tracks at the east end of the station, opened on the 1st of May 1977, this was a power box that controlled signals and points on the loop and link. During the centenary of the Merseyrail in 1986, a mural was erected depicting the scenes from the railway's past. During this celebration, staff were to be seen in period costume. Allegedly, also to be seen in and around James Street Station was a First World War soldier in full uniform, said to haunt the platforms and passageways. The semi-dark platform giving a spooky feeling to some when the station is quiet. Considering the station is covered extensively by CCTV, to my knowledge nothing unusual has ever been seen by them. Have you ever experienced anything unusual at this station? Let me know in the comments. Although rarely used, the old platform was later to be transformed by the art installation Dream Passage, installed in 1992. Now for the Forgotten Twin. While the Merseyrail was deep underground, right near here a second James Street station existed. Built on the elevated railway known as the Liverpool Overhead Railway, or the Dockers Umbrella. Opened in 1893, just a few years after its underground namesake, the elevated James Street Station was one of the world's first electrified elevated railways. It ran 16 feet above the dock road, linking all the busy port offices. Passengers could even change between the two stations, creating a seamless connection between the docks and the Merseyrail. However, the overhead railway was a victim of its own success, and later neglect. Corroding infrastructure and escalating maintenance costs led to its closure in 1956 and demolition in 1957. Liverpool City Council is still, even today, wrongly blamed for its closure. Many not realising the Liverpool Overhead Railway was a privately owned company, and it was its directors and shareholders that opted to close it. Today, virtually no trace of the elevated station remains, making the deep-level Merseyrail station the sole survivor. If you're a regular commuter, you might know about the incredible pedestrian tunnel that connects the station to the India buildings on Water Street. This Grade 2 listed tunnel, also dating back to the 1880s, is only open during the day Monday to Friday, and walking through it is like stepping back in time. During the 2013 station refurbishment, workmen uncovered fascinating glimpses of the past, including advertising posters dating back over 50 years, hidden behind the 1970s panels, and some have been recreated in the subway. It's like a time capsule of Liverpool commuting life. From pioneering the first rivered tunnel under the Mersey, to surviving the Blitz and witnessing the rise and fall of an elevated line, Liverpool James Street Station is a true survivor. It's a subterranean testament to Liverpool's industrial might and world-class engineering. Next time you're passing through, take a moment to appreciate the history beneath your feet. Let me know in the comments of your memories and experiences of the station. Many thanks for watching.